Imagine standing in the flow of time, feeling its gentle yet unyielding push. Days turn into weeks, weeks into years, yet sometimes it feels like no progress is made. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to harness time as a powerful ally, while others feel trapped by it? History is filled with stories of individuals who mastered the art of patience and timing to achieve extraordinary breakthroughs. Their journeys were not defined by luck or chance, but by their ability to transform failures into lessons, challenges into opportunities. Today, we'll unravel three timeless stories: Thomas Edison's relentless pursuit of innovation, Miyamoto Musashi's mastery of strategy through time, and Nelson Mandela's profound transformation during captivity. These tales are more than just historical anecdotes. They hold valuable insights that can guide us in our own lives. Script 1. Thomas Edison and the Lesson of Patience. Thomas Edison is a symbol of innovation, but his journey to becoming the king of inventors is far from smooth. One of his most famous stories revolves around his invention of the light bulb. Edison and his team experimented more than 1,000 times before finding the right filament material. To others, 1,000 failures seemed like clear evidence of futility. But Edison viewed it differently. "I have not failed," he said. "I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work." Edison's mindset is a profound lesson in patience and attitude toward challenges. In life, we are often obsessed with instant results. However, great creations and true breakthroughs often require time to mature. Edison didn't just learn from each failed experiment. He used those lessons as stepping stones to inch closer to success. Another story illustrating this philosophy comes from Japanese inventor Sakichi Toyoda, founder of Toyota. When inventing the automatic loom, Toyota faced numerous difficulties. Yet, he always kept one question in mind: why is this not working? That question guided him to identify small issues, fix them step by step, and eventually create a loom that revolutionized the textile industry and laid the foundation for one of the largest corporations in the world. The stories of Edison and Toyota show that patience is not merely the ability to endure failures, but the willingness to learn from them. Time is never an enemy if we use it as a teacher. This lesson applies not just to inventions, but to all areas of life. When faced with difficulties, instead of feeling disheartened, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Script 2. Miyamoto Musashi and the Power of Time in Strategy. Miyamoto Musashi, one of Japan's greatest swordsmen, left behind a legacy not just in martial techniques, but also in strategic thinking. His most famous story is the duel with Sasaki Kojiro, a strong and renowned opponent of the time. The duel took place on a small island, and Musashi intentionally arrived late. He did this not out of carelessness, but to use time as a strategic weapon. His tardiness caused Kojiro to grow impatient and reckless. When the moment was right, Musashi needed only one strike to end the duel. The lesson from this story lies not just in swordsmanship, but in understanding human psychology and the use of time. In life, we are often pressured by speed and expectations to do everything as quickly as possible. But Musashi demonstrated that slowness can be an advantage if one knows how to control time and emotions. This philosophy is also reflected in Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Know thyself, know thy enemy, and you will win 100 battles. Time is not just something to measure, it is a tool to understand one's opponent, oneself, and prepare for victory. In a world where everyone is rushing forward, sometimes the wisest person is the one who knows how to pause, reflect, and wait for the right moment. Another historical example comes from Napoleon Bonaparte. He once said, "The winner is the one who knows how to wait." In many battles, Napoleon refrained from rushing into attacks, patiently waiting for his opponents to make mistakes. His control of time was a key element of his military strategy. helping him secure many critical victories. Musashi, Sun Tzu, and Napoleon emphasize one thing: time is not an enemy. It is an ally and a tool to control situations. The important part is understanding its nature and learning to use it wisely. Script 3. Nelson Mandela and the Journey of Transformation in Captivity. Nelson Mandela is a global symbol of freedom and resilience. Yet, before becoming South Africa's first president in the post-apartheid era, he endured 27 years of imprisonment on Robben Island, a place that not only stripped him of his physical freedom, but also tested the limits of his human spirit. Many believed that imprisonment would break Mandela, but in reality, he transformed those long, grueling years into an opportunity to reshape himself and prepare for the monumental task of transforming an entire nation. He once said, "True freedom is not merely the ability to do whatever you want, but the freedom from hatred and fear." This statement encapsulates his extraordinary journey of inner transformation. Life in prison and patience. In prison, Mandela was subjected to hard labor, crushing limestone under the relentless sun. He was isolated from his family and comrades. Yet, instead of letting loneliness and pressure consume him, Mandela viewed this time as an opportunity to cultivate patience and equanimity. He spent each day learning and reflecting. Mandela read extensively on law, history, and culture knowledge that would later help him govern a nation. Mandela also frequently wrote letters to his family and friends. He acknowledged that these letters were not only a means of maintaining connection, but also a form of healing and preserving hope. He once remarked, "I never wasted my time in prison. I used it to prepare myself for freedom." The lesson of forgiveness. A pivotal moment in Mandela's transformation was his decision to let go of hatred. Upon entering prison, he carried deep resentment toward the apartheid regime. However, over time, he realized that harboring hatred would not bring about true freedom. Mandela chose to learn the language and culture of those who oppressed him, the guards and officials of the apartheid government. Mandela turned the prison into a classroom for himself and his fellow inmates. He organized discussions, encouraging his peers to study strategies for peaceful resistance and effective leadership. Instead of fostering bitterness, Mandela learned to engage in dialogue with his adversaries. He understood that forgiveness was not a sign of weakness, but the only way to break the cycle of hatred. One famous story involves a prison guard who humiliated Mandela with demeaning remarks. Mandela did not respond with anger, but with a calm gaze. Years later, the guard admitted that Mandela had changed his perception of black people not through words, but through his composed and dignified demeanor. Preparation for freedom. Over 27 years, Mandela not only prepared for his own freedom, but also for the reconciliation of an entire nation. He understood that freedom was not merely about breaking the chains of one group, but about building a future where everyone could coexist peacefully. Mandela once reflected, "I walked out of prison with my legs free, but I knew that if I carried hatred, I would remain in prison forever." When Mandela was released in 1990, he did not call for revenge or reprising. Instead, he began a journey of reconciliation. Mandela met and worked with those who had imprisoned him to build a new South Africa, where racial segregation would gradually be dismantled. Connecting the lesson to us. Nelson Mandela's story is a powerful reminder that time, even under the harshest circumstances, can be a tool for building inner strength and transforming one's life. It teaches us that even when physically confined, the human spirit can soar if we are willing to learn and grow. In life, all of us face moments of hardship that seem insurmountable. But like Mandela, rather than allowing adversity to defeat us, we can turn it into an opportunity for change and growth. Time is not our enemy. It is the most patient teacher. always waiting for us to learn its lessons. Time is a constant companion, silently shaping our lives through its whispers and pauses. It teaches us resilience, patience, and the power of transformation. Through Edison's relentless pursuit, Musashi's strategic brilliance, and Mandela's profound inner journey, we see how time can be both a challenge and a gift, a force that demands respect but offers wisdom in return. As we reflect on these stories, the question remains, how do you embrace time in your own life? Do you see it as a friend guiding you toward growth, or as an obstacle holding you back? Perhaps it's in the quiet moments, the failures, or the waiting, where the most profound breakthroughs await. Take a moment to share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Your journey may inspire someone else to see time in a new light. And if this exploration of time and transformation has resonated with you, consider subscribing to join me for more reflections and stories. Remember, the path to inner breakthroughs isn't rushed, it's walked, step by step, in harmony with time. Thank you for watching, and may your journey be filled with patience, insight, and profound growth.